Europe, a continent teeming with diverse cultures, breathtaking landscapes, and a history both tumultuous and captivating. From the icy fjords of Scandinavia to the sun-drenched shores of the Mediterranean, this land has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the birth of groundbreaking ideas, and the enduring spirit of its people. Join us now as we journey through time, uncovering 10 surprising facts about Europe's history. We will delve into the echoes of the past, exploring events that have shaped not only this continent but the world at large. Our adventure will take us from the era of marauding Vikings to the fall of the Berlin Wall, revealing hidden connections and unexpected consequences. Prepare to be surprised, to be challenged, and to see Europe in a whole new light. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready to explore the rich tapestry of Europe's past. Emerging from the mists of Scandinavia, the Vikings, fierce warriors and skilled seafarers, instilled fear and fascination in equal measure. Their longships, adorned with menacing dragonheads, sailed not only for plunder but also for trade and exploration, reaching far beyond their Nordic homelands. From the 8th to the 11th centuries, these intrepid explorers left their mark on the coastlines of Europe, raiding settlements and establishing trading posts. But their legacy extends far beyond their military exploits and economic ventures. The Vikings, though often perceived as barbarians, possessed a rich culture and a complex language, Old Norse. As they interacted with the peoples they encountered, their language, much like their genes, began to weave its way into the very fabric of European tongues. The impact of Old Norse on the languages of Europe is a testament to the Vikings' enduring legacy, a subtle reminder of their presence long after their longships sailed into the sunset. In the mid-14th century, a shadow descended upon Europe, a darkness that would forever alter the course of its history. The Black Death, a devastating pandemic of bubonic plague, swept across the continent with terrifying speed, leaving a trail of unimaginable suffering in its wake. From its origins in Asia, the plague, carried by fleas on infected rodents, reached the shores of Europe through trade routes, quickly engulfing cities and villages alike. The disease spared no one, striking down rich and poor, young and old, with relentless ferocity. Medieval medicine, ill-equipped to combat the plague's invisible enemy, could offer little respite. Fear and panic gripped the continent as people watched their loved ones succumb to the disease's gruesome symptoms. Entire communities were decimated, leaving behind a haunting silence. The Black Death, claiming an estimated third of Europe's population, left an indelible scar on the continent's psyche, its impact reverberating through the centuries that followed. Across the centuries, Europe has witnessed periods of remarkable transformation, but few have been as profound as the Renaissance, a time of great intellectual and artistic flourishing. Our journey begins in the heart of Italy, amidst the rolling hills of Tuscany and the bustling city-states that dotted its landscape. It was here in the 14th century that the seeds of the Renaissance were sown. Italy at this time was a land of immense wealth and cultural exchange, a crossroads for merchants, artists, and scholars alike. The remnants of the Roman Empire, with its grand architecture and classical ideals, provided fertile ground for new ideas to take root. Within these vibrant city-states, a renewed interest in classical learning began to emerge. Scholars inspired by the rediscovery of ancient Greek and Roman texts sought to revive the knowledge and philosophies of antiquity. This burgeoning intellectual movement, known as humanism, placed a renewed emphasis on human potential and achievement. The humanist spirit quickly permeated all aspects of life, from art and literature to science and philosophy. It was a time of great experimentation and innovation, as artists and thinkers broke free from the constraints of medieval tradition and sought to explore new frontiers of knowledge and creativity. As the Renaissance ignited a thirst for knowledge and new goods, across Northern Europe, a powerful force was emerging in the world of trade. This was the Htic League, a confederation of merchant guilds that would come to dominate maritime trade for centuries. The League's origins can be traced back to the 12th century, a time when the Baltic Sea was a bustling hub of commerce. German merchants, seeking to protect their interests and secure safe passage for their ships, began to form alliances with one another. These alliances gradually evolved into the Hanseatic League, a formidable force that stretched from present-day Russia to England. At the heart of the League's success was its ability to maintain order and establish a common set of rules for trade. The League's ships, known as cogs, were a familiar sight in ports across northern Europe laden with furs, timber, fish, and other valuable commodities. The League's influence extended far beyond the realm of trade, however, as it became a powerful political force, negotiating treaties and even waging war to protect its interests. The Hanseatic League's legacy is deeply woven into the fabric of northern Europe. Its influence can be seen in the architecture of cities like Lübeck, Hamburg, and Gdansk, where grand warehouses and merchant houses stand as testaments to the League's former glory. As the Hanseatic League was weaving its web of trade, a storm was brewing in the heart of Europe that would shake the foundations of religious life. This was the Reformation, a period of immense upheaval that challenged the authority of the Catholic Church and led to the emergence of Protestantism. At the heart of this tumultuous period was a German monk named Martin Luther. Luther, troubled by what he saw as corruption within the Church, famously nailed his 95 Theses to the door of the castle church in Wittenberg in 1517. These theses, a direct challenge to church practices, ignited a firestorm of controversy that would spread like wildfire across Europe. Luther's central message, that salvation could be attained through faith alone, resonated deeply with many people who had grown disillusioned with the Catholic Church. The invention of the printing press played a crucial role in disseminating Luther's ideas, allowing his writings to reach a wide audience and fueling the flames of dissent. The Reformation was not simply a theological debate, however. It had profound political and social implications, as rulers across Europe aligned themselves with either the Catholic Church or the burgeoning Protestant movement. This division led to decades of religious conflict, culminating in the devastating 30 Years' War that ravaged Europe in the 17th century. The Enlightenment, a period spanning the 18th century, marked a profound shift in European thought. It was an age where reason and logic were elevated above tradition and superstition. Thinkers across the continent began to question long-held beliefs, challenging the authority of both the church and the monarchy. This intellectual ferment, this questioning spirit, gave rise to new ideas about government, individual rights, and the very nature of knowledge itself. From the salons of Paris to the universities of Edinburgh, a vibrant exchange of ideas flourished. The Enlightenment was not merely an abstract philosophical movement. Its ideas resonated deeply with the public, influencing art, literature, and even fashion. It was a period of immense intellectual and cultural change, laying the groundwork for the modern world we know today. The 18th century drew to a close, and Europe stood on the cusp of a transformation unlike any it had ever seen, the Industrial Revolution. It began in the heart of Britain, a nation with abundant coal reserves and a burgeoning spirit of invention. New machines, powered by steam and water, began to transform the landscape. Textile mills sprang up, their mechanized looms weaving cloth at an unprecedented rate. Coal mines, the source of this industrial might, burrowed deep into the earth, fueling the insatiable appetite of factories. This shift from handcrafted goods to mass production had a profound impact on European societies. People migrated from rural communities to burgeoning industrial centers in search of work. Cities swelled in size, their skylines increasingly dominated by the towering chimneys of factories. The 20th century dawned, and with it came a period of unprecedented turmoil, 2 world wars that would reshape the political geography of Europe forever. The old order, with its empires and alliances, crumbled under the weight of conflict. The First World War, a conflict of unimaginable scale and brutality, redrew the map of Europe. Empires that had stood for centuries, like the Austro-Hungarian and Ottoman empires, dissolved, replaced by a patchwork of new nation-states. The Treaty of Versailles, intended to bring lasting peace, instead sowed the seeds of future conflict. Harsh reparations imposed on Germany fueled resentment and instability, creating fertile ground for extremist ideologies to take root. The ashes of the Second World War left Europe scarred and deeply divided. Yet from this devastation, a remarkable idea began to take root. A dream of unity and cooperation among nations that had so recently been locked in conflict. The first tentative steps were taken, driven by a desire to ensure such horrors would never again plague the continent. In 1957, 6 European nations, Belgium, France, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and West Germany, signed the Treaty of Rome. This landmark agreement established the European Economic Community, a common market designed to foster economic integration and interdependence. It was a bold experiment, a leap of faith in the face of a deeply uncertain future. Over the following decades, the EEC gradually expanded, welcoming new members and deepening its ties. Trade barriers crumbled, economies became increasingly intertwined, and the free movement of people became a reality. The dream of a united Europe, once a distant aspiration, was slowly but surely taking shape. For nearly half a century, Europe was divided by an ideological chasm and a physical barrier, the Berlin Wall. Erected in 1961, it symbolized Cold War divisions. The Soviet Union faced economic stagnation and political repression. The West enjoyed prosperity and democratic freedoms. The Berlin Wall was a focal point for Cold War tensions. Families were divided, lives disrupted, yet hope persisted. In 1989, the Berlin Wall fell, symbolizing the end of an era. Europe's long and tumultuous history is a tapestry woven from threads of conflict and cooperation, innovation and upheaval. From the Vikings to the European Union, the continent has witnessed empires rise and fall, ideas ignite revolutions, and the human spirit triumph over adversity. The events we've explored, though just a glimpse into the vast panorama of European history, reveal the enduring power of human ingenuity, resilience, and the never-ending quest for a better tomorrow. The story of Europe is far from over, for the continent continues to evolve, confronting new challenges and shaping the course of human history.